Oh, hey. We're shooting the video? We're shooting the video, okay. Today we're going to show you how to make oats that don't suck. And somebody's going to be in the comments, they're going to be talking about, well, no, oats are pretty good. You can do X, Y, they suck. If you've ever been forced to eat a bowl of oatmeal in the morning, whether it be through a diet choice that you've made, or because your parents made it for you when you were growing up and they just kind of forced it on you, you know, without the cinnamon, without the sugar, without all the toppings, without the stuff you want to eat, oats kind of suck. Everybody loves their flavored oats, right? Nobody likes their plain oats unless you're a psychopath. But how do you have delicious flavored oats when you're on a diet, right? Because the cinnamon sugar guy is really cool until you find out your bowl of oatmeal is about 600 to 700 calories, and then the toppings you want to put on top of that is another 300 to 400. So down south, you'll see it with honey. You'll see it with butter, obviously. It's the South. And the second you start throwing those things in there, your 600 or 700 calorie breakfast is now pushing 1,000 calories, and half your calories for the day are gone and you didn't even know it. And those bowls of oats are fantastic. But what about the ones you actually get on a diet? Your 350 to 400 calorie bowls of oats that you'll pair with just some blueberries on the side, and then you get your nice bowl of paste. You get your overcooked, runny, spackle-esque bowl of oatmeal. What part of that is exciting? What part of that is fun? None of it. No, I gotta tell you, none of it. We've all been there. But what if I told you you could have your chocolate peanut butter oats every day? You could have your tiramisu, this was much fuller a little while ago, but you could have your tiramisu oats every single day. Or you can have your caramel delight, which, as you could see, was kind of a hit. But, kind of. So, what if diet food didn't have to be so disappointing anymore? What if there was a way to take something boring like oats and elevate them to a place where you're excited about eating them every day? You're looking forward to that first meal of the day. How would you do it? Exactly like this. The first thing we're going to go over today that is going to help take these oats to the next level and actually make them the most enjoyable oats you've ever eaten is going to be sugar-free, fat-free pudding. You'll be able to find these at just about every supermarket here in America, and the only two things you actually want to look for when picking out flavors, honestly, is that they're both the sugar-free and fat-free versions, because they will sell sugar-free versions that have all the fat in there, and you're not going to save yourself any calories if those are the ones you pick up. Next up, we have our handy-dandy unsweetened almond milk. Now, this guy, very similarly, you should be able to find everywhere, and then our next weapon of choice when making oats, you guessed it, are the oats themselves. Optionally here, you can use your favorite brand of protein powder. We're using the bodybuilding.com version. But if you have PB2 on hand, you can use this because it's really low in fat and very high in protein per serving. For our caramel delight version, we're going to be using some unsweetened coconut flakes and some 0-calorie caramel syrup and chocolate syrup from Walden Farms. For the tiramisu oats, we're going to be using some espresso powder, and then we're going to turn to Lily's for some dark chocolate. In this case, we're using their baking chips, before rounding it out with a little sprinkle of cinnamon. For the chocolate peanut butter oats, you can either use strictly PB2, or you can use, like we have here, a chocolate peanut butter cup protein powder. Alright, to start this one off, we're going to go in with 80 grams of oats, 28 grams of sugar-free, fat-free vanilla pudding, 10 grams of unsweetened coconut, and then we're just going to give it a little wang jangling, get it all nice and mixed up together. No, it's taking longer than you'd imagine it should. That's okay. We're just here playing around. Once you have all your ingredients nice and mixed together, all your dry ingredients that is, we're going to load the jar up with 2 tablespoons of 0-calorie chocolate syrup, and then follow that up immediately with 2 tablespoons of 0-calorie caramel syrup. Here you see me mixing it around the jar. It looks cool, but once we load everything in there and then add the next ingredient, which will be our 350 grams or 400 grams of unsweetened almond milk, it's not really going to matter how it looks on the side, because we're going to screw the top on after this and then shake the ever-loving bejesus out of it. Something we would like to cover, and I'll probably bring it up again a little bit later in the video, is you can actually use less of the almond milk than we used here, The 350 to 400 will kind of put you in a little bit more of the creamier side of oatmeal and almost into the smoothie side. Whereas if you cut it back to 200, you'd be in like the cement mixer side, give your jaw a workout while trying to eat it. Then like that 250 to 300 would probably give you more of like a standard oatmeal-esque texture. So you can adjust to your preferences. This is the way we like to do it in the morning, so it's just easier to eat. Sometimes we don't have all the time in the world to eat our breakfast. Then, once everything is inside of the jar, we're going to pop the lid on that bad boy. Nice and tight. And then there's no cool way to do this. Alright, going to do it off camera. We're bringing it back and revealing that we did, in fact, shake the bejesus out of it. Then, because these are the protein oats, and I forgot to add it earlier, we just go back in and we throw the protein scoop in, but don't worry. You're just going to repeat the process. You're going to throw the protein in, and then you're just going to shake the bejesus out of it again, and all is right in the world. Go ahead, pop it in the refrigerator, and leave it for 4 to 6 hours, or overnight, or 2 to 3 to 4 days. Use it for meal prep, and then we're going to move on to the next style of oats, which are our chocolate peanut butter oats. To do that, we're starting again with 80 grams of oats, 40 grams of the sugar-free, fat-free chocolate fudge pudding, and then 15 grams of PB2. Then we're going to add some of our chocolate peanut butter protein. Now, we had committed to using the bowl for the first 2 recipes. You'll see that we just mix everything directly into the jar in the third one. To make it easier to transfer, we wanted to show y'all that there were tricks to it if you don't have a funnel. So we transferred it over to some parchment paper, which is going to allow us to fold from both ends and then pour much easier into the jar that we're going to be mixing it in later. Follow it up with another 350 to 400 grams of unsweetened almond milk. Before putting the lid back on it and desperately trying to shake this in a way that you can capture it on the camera, but it's always just going to look silly. It is what it is. Same deal, go ahead and pop that guy in the refrigerator for your 4 to 6 hours or up to overnight and for as long as 4 to 5 days. Before moving to my favorite, the tiramisu oats, which again, just like the other 2 recipes, is going to start with us putting 80 grams of oats, this time directly into the jar, 28 grams of sugar-free, fat-free cheesecake pudding, 1 teaspoon of instant espresso, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 scoop of vanilla protein powder, 14 grams of Lily's dark chocolate baking chips. Oh, and here it is, our new favorite segment, the play of the game, starring none other than your favorite cook, 3 first names. All right, let's get into the highlights here. You'll see, oh, what a rookie mistake, BMK coming in and pouring the almond milk all over the scale and none into the jar. Well played, buddy. Ooh, going in now, having to clean off the scale. What a shot. All right. Then we're going to go back in and we're going to add 350 grams to 400 grams of unsweetened almond milk into the jar this time. Now, this guy was a little bit too thick for the almond milk to actually seep to the bottom of the jar with, so we just had to loosen it up a little bit before adding the rest. And then we're going to repeat the process. Pop the lid on it and shake the ever-loving hell out of it. Now, I was going to talk to you about how the tiramisu oats are so good that not only can you have them for breakfast, I would even recommend eating them for desserts on some days where you're really, really craving something, and go over the flavor profile, but I think you just got to try it. You won't believe me until you try it, and we're just going to show you the raw reaction to me actually eating it, because there's something special about these ones. I don't care who you are. These are the best, hands down. You got to get these ones in you. Here we have our caramel delight oats, we have our tiramisu oats, and then we have our chocolate peanut butter protein oats, which somebody has already helped themselves to. Totally fine. That's what they're here for. Now we're gonna taste them on camera. Let's find out. It's messed up how good this is. I don't care how it looks. This is my favorite. Without a doubt, that's my favorite. Now, if you've ever, at any point in time, been like us, you've been down on it, you've been deep into a diet, and you're like, I just am dying for a treat, that's where the chocolate peanut butter ones come in. It legitimately is like eating, I think, like a Reese's peanut butter smoothie. They're so good. I know, right? I'm just gonna sit here and keep saying it's so good, you gotta try it. I legitimately think that not just people on a diet should be eating stuff like this. I think this is maybe one of my top 3 or top 5 breakfasts of all times. And then it's the same story with the Caramel Delight, where you do get the chocolate, the caramel, and the coconut all coming in together in perfect balance. And I honestly, my only regret with this one is that we didn't toast the coconut off first before we threw it in there. I think that's the only thing that might have added a little bit more depth of flavor, but it's all still there, and it's all super enjoyable, and it's just so easy to get down in the morning. But yeah, I mean, those are 3 of the best ones that we know of. There's thousands of different variations of this stuff, and if you know some, feel free to leave them down in the comments. But if I had to rank them personally to my preferences, I'm gonna go tiramisu number 1, the goat, and then chocolate peanut butter number 2, and then the caramel delight 3rd. Now, if you ever do try these, you go out of your way to make them, let us know what you think. You can find us on our socials at Kenny's Cook. And if you would like a link to the recipes or where you can go along to follow and how to adjust the consistency to your preference, in the description below, you'll find a link to our website. And as always, if you like what we do, if we made you laugh or you enjoyed the content, feel free to drop us a like, drop a comment down below telling us what you enjoyed, maybe what you didn't like. And then don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out. And if you really liked us and you want to support us for free, go ahead and click the bell too. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in again. Much love and peace.